Hey, welcome back to the channel. So I'm out today just taking a few pictures, just kind of walking around, taking a few pictures, taking a few videos on the A7CR, and just kind of wanted to talk to you a little bit about what I've been thinking about a lot lately, what I really need as far as camera goes. Like the problem I've had in the past or currently is I like to shoot a variety of different genres, or at least I like to think that I shoot a variety of different genres. In reality, I don't, but I want to, you know? And that's kind of left me in the position of buying a bunch of cameras that I probably don't need, that I probably, ought to sell, but just can't seem to bring myself to sell them. It just recently I got to thinking, like, what do I actually need? What do I actually use? In my kit, there's really only room for one pro style camera. When I say pro style camera, I'm talking about the traditional camera, you know, like an A7 IV, A7 R5, those type of cameras with the, traditional camera with the eyepiece in the middle and, flip screen, all that type of stuff. I only really have room for one of those because and ultimately I just don't use those as much as I do my other cameras. But I still need one of those just in case I have something come up that I need a type of camera like that before. The only two cameras that really interest me in that genre, I guess you would say, are the Sony A1 II, which I currently have that. And recently I've been really thinking about trying out the Lumix S1 Mark II. It has to be the Sony A1 Mark II. It just has to be. Just because the lenses, the lens ecosystem that I'm in, all that stuff. Yeah, I'm really interested in trying out that new Lumix camera. The video functions on it are just incredible. You know, if you're looking for a hybrid camera that can do everything, the A1 II seems to be that camera, at least for me. Yeah, it doesn't have open gate, but even with the cameras I do have a Lumix S9. I just don't find a lot of need for open gate for me personally. Now, if I was owning some kind of video production company or something like that, I would definitely be jumping into Lumix, but I don't. So for my use case, I'll be doing a lot more hybrid shooting, photo, video, stuff like that. And I just don't know that a Sony can be beat. I wish it had open gate. It doesn't, but pretty much that's the only feature that interests me about the Lumix. Plus, it's just my curiosity to try out the camera. And that's just natural curiosity about a camera that I, want to check out. Then you have cameras like single lens point and shoot type cameras with the pretty flowers right there. It's crazy. I bet this plant right here needs a lot of sun, and it's in the shade as it can be. You have your single lens point and shoot cameras, and those are the type of cameras that I want to use. Like that's what I just don't find a lot of use for those in my kit on a normal basis. I just don't use them. I keep buying them because I keep getting sold on the idea of documenting my life, of documenting my day, all this and that. My day is pretty much just boring, I wake up, I go to work, I go home. That's pretty much my day. There's nothing to document. I generally stay within the same, 5 or 6 mile area every day. So even though I want to sell myself on single lens point and shoot cameras, I just never use them, and I keep buying them thinking, oh man, this might be the one. This might inspire me to get out and take more photos and stuff. But I just, in general, don't use those type of cameras. Now I have like the Ricoh GR3. I'm talking about those kind of cameras. I have a Fuji X-T32. That's kind of in that style of camera. Cameras like that. I just don't have any use for those type of. I keep buying them, thinking I want to find a use, but I just haven't. I just can't. I just can't seem to get along with them. I just buy them and then they sit there. That's what happens to them. So those cameras are kind of out for me. The next time a camera is the mirrorless hybrid small camera. That's what I have here in the A7CR. These are the kind of cameras that I tend to use the most. Just because they fit in my everyday lifestyle better. Like, if I want to carry them, they're not that heavy. If I want to put them in my bag, I can take them with me. If I use them, I'm great. If I don't, great. I can shoot a video with them. I can take photos with them. I can do whatever I want to with them. But, you know, I'm kind of trying to narrow that down between a few different cameras. And what I've decided is that I have to have a viewfinder. Not having a viewfinder is a absolute deal breaker for me. And I love the S9, absolutely love it. Most of the time it's not a big deal not to have a viewfinder, but when it is a big deal, it is a big deal. And that's mainly my own fault. I mean, you'll see people talk about how the viewfinder's not that big a deal. Maybe to them it's not, but to me it is. It's because I'm freaking blind, you know? And it's just that I need readers, constantly need readers. And I don't normally carry those out when I'm out and about because I don't need them just all the time. But when I get to using a camera like this, I cannot see the screen. And I cannot see the screen when it's, I can't see the screen when it's sunny out at all. I can't see those little icons and shit. I cannot see it without readers. But the chances of me having my readers on me are slim to none because I don't use them normally. I have my readers, I'll put them on, make some changes, then I'll look through the viewfinder, then the viewfinder's blurry because it's not set up for my readers. And then I'll take my readers off and then I'll have to put them back on. I mean, it's a whole thing, you know? And it's just because I can't see very good, and it's just because of my age. And I have went and got my eyesight tested out and they said everything's fine. I just need to use readers. But when you're using readers with cameras, it makes it a pain in the ass. So because I'm so blind and have such a hard time seeing, like right now, I can't see the screen at all. I mean, I can barely make out my framing. I can see that I'm kind of in the middle of the frame, but it's pretty bad. And I don't have a tripod or anything, so I'm just kind of handheld. But because I'm so damn blind, I had to have the viewfinder if I want to take any kind of pictures. There's no doubt about it. If I want to change any of the settings, I have to have that viewfinder. That's just the way it is, you know? And it sucks for me, but it's the reality of the situation. And then as far as videos and stuff, little, videos like this and vlogs and stuff, I have to rely on the camera so much because I literally cannot see it, you know? I had to rely on the camera to be able to do its job. And for me, pretty much the most perfect camera currently for me is this A7CR. I'm not gonna lie to you. Now I haven't narrowed down between a few different cameras, of course. You have the A7CR, which I'm shooting on with here, the A6700, which I have and I love. I'm just a full frame guy at heart. I'm gonna be honest with you. Like, yeah, APS-C is nice and it does fine. It looks okay, all this and that. But it's just not full frame, you know? That's what I like. The S9 is perfect. It's awesome. They just left a few things out of that camera that have made it just so much better. Viewfinder, mechanical shutter. That's all it really has to have. It would have been great. Even like that little, like I have the RX100 Mark VII. I use that sucker all the time. All the time when I'm out traveling and stuff. I love that camera. So that'll pop up viewfinder. You'll be thinking, oh, I'll never use that. I'll just use the back screen. That thing's so stupid. It's so small. I use it all the time. All the time. I mean, it's so little. You can barely see anything out of it, but I use it all the time because I have to. I have to have the viewfinder. So it kind of leaves me squarely in the Sony camp. Although they don't have some of the features that everybody seems to want, they just seem to make the right cameras for me, you know? Boy, I would like to find something else that I like better, but because man, I would like to get something where I could just use a JPEG straight out of the camera. And, if you could just like combine different little portions from each different camera company into one master camera, that'd be great, but that's just not the case. Obviously you can't do that. But for me, right now, Sony just seems to be where I need to be. They make the cameras for me. Like on the pro side, I have the A1 Mark II, which is, probably the best camera that it just, when you say it's a good camera, I just can't put that into words how good it is, okay? I just can't. It's obviously the best camera I've ever held in my hands. But coincidentally, I don't use it a whole lot because it's just kind of big to take around and it's expensive as heck, and I don't want to just throw it in my bag or leave it in my truck or blah, 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 all this and that. I just don't take it that much. For kind of a walk around hybrid camera, A7CR, it seems to fit the bill and do exactly what I need it to do. Yeah, I wish it could be a little bit better in some areas, but in general, it does exactly what I need. You have the 61 megapixels, which is not that big a deal to me, but it is what it is. You have decent video functions. You have the 4K 60, which is a little bit of a crop, but it's not a massive crop, one that I've dealt with forever, and it's just not that big a deal to me as far as the crop goes. And they've added the two things that they've added that have been super nice to this camera. The dynamic active stabilization, which I'm using right now and I've used sporadically throughout the day. And it looks okay from what I can tell. And then also they've added the automatic tracking subject detection into the camera. Man, that's so awesome. Like, you can just put on the auto and just take pictures of whatever you want or videos of whatever you want. You don't have to think about it. It's just like next level stuff, and it makes things easy, and I don't have to worry about the camera. It just kind of does it for me, which I understand people don't tend to like that sometimes. But for me, when I'm out and about just doing this or doing whatever, it just makes it easy for me, and that's what I like. Mainly because I can't see shit. That's the main problem. And if I had to make some kind of serious changes, it just becomes a hassle. And then for the pocketable camera that you can kind of take anywhere with you, that's kind of single lens, point and shoot type deal. Man, I have the Ricoh, I have that Fuji. I just don't think anything beats the RX 100 Mark 7. And I'll tell you why. It's because I enjoy the zoom lens out of it. I enjoy the zoom lens, and being able to go from 24 to 200 is it's pretty unbelievable. And that's what I really like about that one. And it is like so small. Man, I wish it was like APS-C or something, but it is what it is. But I bought that camera specifically to slip into like football games and college football games where you got to have whatever you are carrying in your pocket. Have to be able to carry it in my pocket. So when you go to a football game, you have to be carrying something in your pocket. You can whip out the RX 100 Mark 7 and have a 24 to 200 on it. That's a powerful tool. And as far as the little pocket travel cameras go, I just don't think anything's going to beat that. Even though, man, that Ricoh GR3 is so nice. I love the colors coming out of it. I really do love that camera, but again, I find myself just not using it a lot. Anyway, it's just me blabbing about cameras out here messing around with the dynamic active stabilization and A7CR in this 20 to 70 millimeter lens. Seems to be a pretty perfect lens for me. Kind of like it. Just kind of putting my thoughts down on video. Let me know what you think. I don't want to be in the Sony camp, but they just make the cameras that work for me. What else can I say? I'll catch you on the next one. Thanks for watching.